Hello everybody and welcome back to another photography adventure. Now that glorious sunrise that I had on Rannoch Moor had left me feeling inspired, so the following evening I decided to head up into the mountains to capture a sunset. Something that I love about getting away from the road is that you're instantly seeing this landscape from new angles, and suddenly there seems to be endless compositions, especially in the changing weather conditions. On this occasion I was hiking towards the summit of a mountain called Stobdu. My friend Benjamin had advised me on a nice location up there with the potential for a great shot looking back towards Stob Corrie Rannoch, which is part of Buchal Etive Beg, which is also known as the Wee Buchal. Along the way the views started to open up, and with the light falling over the landscape I decided to stop and grab one or two snapshots. This left me more eager to get to my intended location and wait for the softer light that I hoped would fall on my subject. After about an hour I reached the saddle between the two mountains and turned right to head up Stobdu. The wind had now picked up and the temperature had dropped, so I added a few extra layers of clothing. After about an hour and a half I reached a plateau which marks the start of a ridgeline along to the summit of Stobdu. This was the place where I wanted to be. The summit would have to wait for another day. Well, I have reached the location, and the reason why the whole of this intro to this video was done with a narration is because this was a completely unplanned hike and I cannot remember the names of the mountains that I'm climbing here. So that's why I've done a voiceover, so I can research it once I get home and add that voiceover at the start. So I'm coming clean and I'm being honest. But I have reached the area where I want to be, and as you can see it is absolutely beautiful. And the reason why I nipped out today is I was sitting in the house down there at Glencoe and I could see the clouds were moving nicely. There was plenty of gaps in the west where the sun will be setting. So I thought may as well get out of the house, climb up a mountain and see what happens. We still have quite a bit of time till sunset actually. We have over an hour and 45 minutes until sunset. So I've got a bit of time to hang around, find a composition and hide out the wind down here for a bit because the wind has picked up quite a bit. Whew, it's getting chilly. Okay, so I think I've finally settled on this is my area. I'm quite sheltered from the wind here. Whoa! I can set up my tripod here. You can see there's still light hitting the mountains away in the distance. So I'm going to set up here and I'm going to hope, keep my fingers crossed, that the sun comes out and hits this mountain right in front of us. Whoo-yee. Okay, I've got my tripod set up here. The wind is still kind of whistling through this area, but I'm going to try my best to get the shots. We just need this bit of sunshine, and from here I can't see what's happening in the west. From here I can't see what's happening in the west, so I've no idea if there's any gaps coming, but we just need that one little fleeting glimpse and we'll get a nice shot here. I guess now it's just a waiting game. Come on sunshine, please just catch onto this mountain. It's hitting the mountains way in the back. Come on, please, 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 please. Oh, I feel like we are so close to getting the most incredible light right now. It is looking so nice coming up through Glencoe here. We just need to hit the peak now, come on. It's so close. There's beautiful dramatic clouds hanging in the sky which are nice and dark. If we get some golden light hitting the peak, it's going to be so nice. Oh, I'm so hopeful, but it's so frustrating when you can see the light catching every single mountain apart from the one I want to shoot. It's so frustrating because the light is so incredible. Oh, why is it so windy? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Why is there no light here? So it would appear that the light has just disappeared behind a mountain, and that's why it's not hitting this peak. I look down here behind me, the light is beautiful down towards Glencoe. The light is still hitting the area where I camped a couple of vlogs ago. Oh man. So I don't even know what to do now. I'm maybe going to run back up to the top of this mountain, see if I can shoot anything looking across that way. Oh, so frustrating. so frustrating. So you can probably see from this time lapse why I was so frustrated. The light seemed to be falling on every single mountain apart from the one that I wanted it to hit. But I decided to get out the drone and capture 1 or 2 shots from the sky. Well, with no chance of light hitting my subject, I headed back up onto a ridgeline with my telephoto lens to pick out little bits within the landscape. And in the end, I managed to grab 1 or 2 shots. I think I'm just going to sign off from the vlog here. I'll say once again. Okay, so don't go anywhere just yet because I am back at this location once again. It's now 2 days later. The weather was looking pretty good this afternoon, so I thought I'm going to head back up there and see if I can get that composition. And I've turned up and the weather has somewhat changed a little bit. So you can see behind me here is this composition again. The camera is set up here with my sweaty, disgusting t-shirt covering it from the rain a little bit. I'm still feeling reasonably optimistic. The weather is passing through quite quickly, and believe it or not, these conditions are actually quite exciting me. We've got about 2 hours until sunset, well 2 hours and 20 minutes until sunset, but about 2 hours until the last chance to get any light on this peak, because at 7 o'clock it will disappear behind the distant mountain peaks here and I won't see it again. Obviously, as I was walking up here, the light was beautiful all over the mountain, but it would have been a little bit harsh for photographs. So I didn't get any of those, and then when the rain started to come in, I started to run this last 100-meter ascent because I was really hopeful that there was going to be some sort of a beautiful rainbow coming. I almost got one on the left-hand side here, but it didn't quite materialize. So I'm probably going to stay around here for another couple of hours because in my experience, the best light always comes when you least expect it after the rains, and you don't get those dramatic, amazing photographs unless you head out into conditions like this. So, fingers crossed that we get something special, and if not, I've had some exercise and some fun. Whew, it is very atmospheric here now. While I'm still standing here feeling fairly optimistic, there's been some extremely dramatic and atmospheric conditions drifting through behind me. Oh, look at that light away down here in Glencoe, just catching on the Anik Ridge. I've forgotten the second part about the Anik Ridge. Look at this mountain away in the distance catching some light as well, but for some reason my mountain, which is Stob Cori Ranach, which is part of the Buchau Etiv Beg range. I'm learning my stuff now, right? If we get this light, as I've been saying all this vlog, I keep forgetting this vlog started about 3 days ago. If we get some dappled light or any kind of light on this mountain, it's going to be so nice, so nice. I'm tempted now just to pop up onto the top of here to the ridge and see what kind of weather we have looking like in the west for where the sun is heading. I'm just terrified in case I'm up there and the light starts to hit this mountain. Look at it down here, just catching along the ridge here. Oh, come on, please. I've worked hard for this shot physically and mentally now. So as you can see from this time lapse, the weather was coming and going and changing rapidly. It was at this moment that I decided to put on my 100 to 400 lens and start to pick out some small details where the light was falling in the background. And not long after doing this, typically, this happened. Just keep your eye on that small patch of light which was starting to form on the left hand side of this mountain. As you can see, it had me scrambling to change my lens as quickly as possible because that moment I'd been waiting for was about to happen. I popped the camera back on my tripod, lined up my composition, dialed in my settings, and then the camera that you're currently watching on ran out of battery. But on this small time lapse you can see the light just passing across the scene in front of me, and it's safe to say I was pretty happy. Okay, it just happened. I can't believe it just happened, and I turned round to speak to the camera here and you had run out of battery. Oh, I don't know if you managed to catch it on this camera or not. So I got my telephoto lens out and I was running around just doing some handheld shots, picking out small pieces in the landscape. There's some beautiful light away in the distance. See away over here, this is what I was using the telephoto lens to capture pieces of this. And then I saw this tiny piece of light working its way up the mountain, and it washed right across the front. It didn't hit the peak, which I quite liked. It was more just like a band of light came across and worked its way down. Oh, we've got potential rainbows going on over here. Man, it's those magical conditions which I love shooting, and everything's just changing constantly. I think I'm gonna put on the telephoto again and capture some more shots. This is just all over the place and it's fantastic. So as you can see, I was pretty excited, and here's just a few of the shots that I had just captured. I just had a quick, I've just had a quick look through the shots that I got when the light came over, and I think I got something that I was super happy with there. Something that I'd envisioned 3 days ago, and I'd envisioned again when I was walking back up here today. But this time, if anything, the sky was more dramatic tonight, which gave it that extra little bit of oomph. I'm still going to hang around for a bit longer because I've still got over an hour until the sun would disappear behind that mountain range. So yeah, I'm going to hang around here and see what happens. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, I am all over the place here. The rain is pelting me here. This is looking extremely dramatic. There's a rainbow forming between these two mountains. I don't know the name of these ones yet, but the sky is just looking incredible. Look at the light hitting away through the back there. That's on Binacrulist. What is going on? It's all over the place. Wow, these are the most insane conditions for landscape photography. Everything I've got soaking. This is the t-shirt that I wore to come up here. It's been used mainly as some sort of makeshift lens cloth. It's also been covering my camera during the worst of the rain here. Rainbow's coming high, rainbow's coming high, rainbow's coming high. Okay. Rainbow is coming high. There's a rainbow forming. Oh, I need to clean this lens. Please clean, please clean. There's a rainbow forming now behind me. I think this one's dry enough. All my lens cloths are wet. Now I need to figure out the best composition to capture this rainbow. It's coming right onto my composition. It could fall right over here. If it keeps forming, it's going to land right on top of this mountain here. Please keep coming. It's getting more and more intense, and if it does, and it lands where I want it to, it's going to be right on top of our subject here, which would just be like unimaginable. I hope you guys can see what's going on here. That rainbow, I'm going to have to put a wide lens on to capture all that if I wanted to. This rainbow, I'm going to have to shoot portrait. Come on, come on, come on. The rainbow is now coming right across here. Just need this to clear. Wow, look at that. There's how I capture it. I need to switch to my wide angle lens. Bear with me. I'm trying to be as calm as I can here, but I am in a mad panic and rush right now. But I'm trying to just stay as calm as I possibly can in order to grab this shot. Let's put on the 16 to 35mm lens. Just talking myself through what I'm doing here so I remember. I can hear stags rutting in the background. This is just insane. There's absolutely no time for me to try and do anything regarding foreground. because this won't last long. I can't believe what is going on here actually. This is just so beautiful. I'm going to do another video on my phone here, just because it's so good. Man, everything's just going so crazy here. I'm standing here waiting and I could see this rainbow is kicking off away in Never Glen, and then there's stags constantly, rutting stags going on. I'm sure I could even hear their antlers clanging together over here somewhere on the other mountain. Wow, it's just been the most typical of Scottish sunsets at the moment. I'm so happy that I did come back up here tonight, because I was sort of 50-50, should I shoot something down in the glens or should I make the effort and come back up here? But I knew I wanted to try and get a shot of this composition, so I was like, get yourself up there, because I'll go back to Africa again next week as well, so I don't know when I'm going to be back up here in Glencoe again. So I was like, get yourself up that mountain, I don't care what the conditions are like, you sit there and you wait and see if something happens. And in the end, I was treated to some fantastic light. And as always guys, if you enjoyed this content, I really do feel that when I'm out here I do give an honest representation of what it's like, especially for myself and what I'm going through when I'm capturing all these images. I really do feel like what you see is pretty much exactly how it was. Quite frantic most of the time, to be honest with you. So if you like this content, please just click that little thumbs up button, leave a comment underneath the video. It really does help to push my video out to a wider audience. And also please click on that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you are notified whenever I upload a new video, which I'm trying to do weekly, but it's not always the easiest of things to do. So thank you very much for joining me on this extremely atmospheric and Scottish adventure, and I shall see you very soon on the next one. Whew.